All right, let's just address the elephant in the room. Artificial intelligence is quite literally everywhere right now. It's in the news, it's creeping into our schools, and it's definitely piling up in our administrative offices. And honestly, it can feel completely overwhelming. But instead of letting the hype take over, we're going to take a step back and just look at the facts. Think of this explainer as your personal stress relief guide to understanding AI so you can actually approach it with confidence and real wisdom.
So, here's our game plan for today. We'll start by demystifying AI, then look at some real-world benefits. After that, we'll navigate the risks of generative AI, and finally, we'll talk about the irreplaceable human teacher.
Let's dive right into part 1, demystifying artificial intelligence, and kind of peeling back those sci-fi myths.
You know, it can feel like this tech just magically appeared overnight, right? But AI has actually been building step by step for over 70 years. It goes all the way back to 1950 when Alan Turing, yes, the genius who helped break the Enigma code, asked a really profound question: can machines think? By 1956, the term artificial intelligence was officially coined at Dartmouth College. Fast forward a bit to 1997, and IBM's Deep Blue supercomputer literally beats world chess champion Garry Kasparov. All of that foundational groundwork paved the way for 2022, which saw the massive rise of large language models, putting this incredible tech right at our fingertips.
So what actually is it? Well, if we look at foundational sources like IBM, at its absolute highest level, AI is simply technology striving to simulate the cognitive functions we just do naturally every day, enabling computers to simulate learning, comprehension, problem-solving, and even creativity. So it's not magic, it's just an emulation of human intelligence.
Now, nested right under that broad AI umbrella is machine learning. Instead of typing out thousands of lines of explicit code for one specific task, we feed an algorithm a massive amount of data, and the system learns to make predictions or decisions based on that data. It's kind of like showing a toddler 1,000 pictures of a dog until they just know what a dog is without you having to define it every single time.
Which brings us to the current breakthrough, generative AI. This is the big one. It's the technology that can actually generate brand new content, like a full lesson plan or an email to parents, based purely on your instructions. We're talking about highly advanced deep learning models that encode simplified representations of their training data, and then draw from that to create complex, original text, images, or audio the exact moment you prompt them.
And again, this isn't some mysterious black box doing parlor tricks. Generative AI actually operates in 3 distinct phases. First is training, which is an incredibly compute-intensive process where the model learns from massive volumes of raw, unstructured data from the internet. Next comes tuning, where the model is adapted to specific tasks, often refined by actual human feedback. And finally, generation, where it creates the content and is evaluated for accuracy.
Okay, let's take a quick reality check here. We aren't dealing with the Terminator. Everything we use today, whether it's Siri setting a timer or ChatGPT drafting an email, is what we call weak AI. It's designed for very narrow, specific tasks. Strong AI, like a machine possessing genuine human-level intelligence and actual self-awareness, that remains purely in the realm of theory and science fiction.
All right, moving right along to Section 2, AI's real-world benefits. These are tools to empower us, not replace us. So how does this actually help us? Well, AI provides a massive benefit by taking tedious, repetitive tasks right off your plate. Think about the sheer relief of not having to do mundane data entry or staring at a blank screen at 10 p.m. trying to outline a curriculum. AI can automate those things, pull really fast insights from educational data, and because it doesn't sleep, it's always available to help brainstorm. Ultimately, it frees you up to do the higher value, deeply relational work that only you can do.
All right, let's shift gears to part 3, navigating generative AI risks. This is where we really need to practice some wisdom and discernment.
We have to be smart about bringing these tools into a school environment, and the National Institute of Standards and Technology outlines a few really unique risks we need to watch out for. We're looking at things like confabulation, harmful bias, data privacy, and human-AI configuration, which is honestly just the danger of us humans over-relying on or trusting these systems way too much. Let's look a bit closer at a few of these.
First up is confabulation, or what people colloquially call hallucinations. Because AI is just a statistical predictor, it can and will confidently lie to you. It will generate entirely fabricated content with absolute unwavering confidence. The NIST report notes this is incredibly dangerous in fields like healthcare, where a confabulated summary could lead to a wrong diagnosis. For education, it means you always, absolutely always, need to double-check the facts it gives you. And this happens because AI doesn't have a moral compass. It doesn't understand truth. It is simply predicting what word should logically come next based on patterns. It doesn't comprehend facts or reality. It's essentially a highly sophisticated math equation. It doesn't know it's lying because it literally doesn't know anything.
Then there's a harmful bias. Since these models are trained on massive amounts of raw internet data, they can incredibly easily reproduce and amplify historical and societal biases. The NIST framework points out this can result in generated content that leans heavily into stereotyping. For example, image generators will sometimes completely underrepresent certain demographics when you just ask them to draw a CEO or a doctor. It's just another huge reason why human oversight is entirely non-negotiable.
Privacy is another massive one. This is exactly why we must never, ever input sensitive student data, like an IEP or a disciplinary record, into a public generative AI platform. According to NIST, AI models can actually leak sensitive information or correctly infer private data just by stitching together the disparate pieces of information you give them. Protecting student privacy has to be our top priority.
Which brings us to our fourth and final section, the irreplaceable human teacher. The human edge in education.
When you put AI's capabilities right next to a human teacher's, the contrast is just glaring. Sure, AI can predict text, it can summarize vast amounts of data, it can give you a great template, but it absolutely cannot read a subtle shift in a student's body language, it can't exercise moral discernment, it can't build the kind of relational trust that actually changes a young life, and it definitely cannot show genuine empathy.
An algorithm might draft a beautiful, flawless lesson plan, but only you have the human wisdom to know when to completely throw that plan out the window to support a struggling student. AI doesn't see the frustrated look on a child's face in the third row. Only you do. And only you know exactly how to pivot in that exact moment to offer grace and guidance.
As we wrap up, I really want to leave you with this framing thought. Now that we understand what AI is, and just as importantly, what it is not, let's learn how to use it wisely, responsibly, and practically in our work as educators. We really don't need to fear this technology. We just need to master it.
Just as a quick note, all the technical definitions, the historical timelines, and those risk frameworks we covered today were drawn directly from foundational reports by IBM and the National Institute of Standards and Technology. They are fantastic, comprehensive resources if you ever want to dig deeper into the science and safety side of things. Thank you so much for joining this explainer. The tools are here. They're incredibly powerful, but at the end of the day, they are just tools. The real question I want to leave you with is this. Once AI takes all that tedious, busy work off your plate, what profound human impact are you going to make with your reclaimed time? Keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll catch you next time.